Welcome to Liberty Today. As travel season gets into full swing, Gordon and Bob Ellis ask, where is America going? Nick Reed is here to unpack the Hobby Lobby decision, and Gordon and Ed will have all the highlights from the South Dakota Republican Convention.
Our founding fathers really pledged something very significant. Bob Ellis, you and I know well, they pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. They weren't just kidding about that, were they?
No, they went right out of there and they started to put all that on the line, because many of them, they were on the front lines of fighting in the American Revolution. They had a price on their head. Many of them put their fortunes on the line, and they ended up losing those fortunes. Their property was destroyed and confiscated during the Revolution. They had a lot to lose, and many of them did.
And many of them lost their lives. They were captured and executed, many of them. So, with that as a backdrop, for the America we grew up loving and knowing, where are we going, Bob?
I don't think that we can live up to the standard that our forefathers set for us.
Why?
Well, that's probably a wrong thing to say, that we can't live up to it. I think we can if we want to. We are not living up to it.
Okay, I think you and I agree on that point. Do you see men and women who you look at and say, perhaps there's somebody who might be willing to pledge everything they are and everything they own for the salvation of this country?
There's a few of them.
Yeah, I've seen some of them, and I had the privilege of knowing some of them, frankly. And I think the hope of our nation's future rests in the hands of those few people who are willing to lay it all on the line.
It really does. And these days it seems even more so, or at least forefront in our minds, it seems more important to us to guard our reputation, if you will. Some of us won't even risk our reputation and our standing in the community, or our standing with our particular groups, to come out and stake out a position and stand behind that. We're afraid of what people will say, what they'll call us.
Bob, as you use the word reputation, it takes me to the scripture that said Christ made himself of no reputation.
Yeah. He went around and he associated with the sinners, the drunks, the tax collectors, the prostitutes, the people of ill repute, and he put himself on the opposite side of the establishment of his day.
That's a pretty strong example for leaders in America, isn't it? And it's one of the reasons that our country became so great, is because we built a nation on those principles of self-sacrifice, principles of honor and integrity.
Principles that ultimately came from the Bible, and most of our founders were familiar with that document. Most of them actually believed in that document.
One of the founding fathers said that the study of the Bible is better than a college education.
And Benjamin Rush made a statement about our society in general, that we spend so much time trying to stop crimes. We lament about the things that people do to one another, the societal ills that we have in our society, when if we would go back to the Bible, most of those problems would take care of themselves.
You know, the scriptures are a great place to go to find encouragement and direction. And 2 Chronicles 7:14, that says very clearly, lays out the path for America to return to prosperity. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked ways, I'll hear from heaven and heal their land.
But we aren't a very humble people anymore.
And we really don't take a lot of time to pray as a nation.
No. It takes a humility to pray, and I have to admit I could do way better in that area myself, but to bring yourself before your Creator and admit, I don't have all the answers. I can't supply all my needs. I need wisdom. I need direction. It takes humility just to do that, and then even more humility to listen for the answer.
When in Old Testament history we see Israel with a wicked leader, Israel was led into bondage. Right now we have a president who has declared openly we're no longer a Christian nation. and we see America being led down the pathway into economic chaos and bondage.
Yeah.
I wonder when we'll wake up and get a clue that we need to turn and go a different direction.
I can only hope that we wake up before it's too late, because usually history teaches us that when a people go down that road, they usually don't wake up until there are devastating consequences.
Well, let's hope America wakes up and wakes up soon, because the consequences from this view are looking rather dire.